Right. Story of my life, people over here. Deciding when to talk. I don't know, man. It's a good one. It's a really good one because I've done massive amounts of communication skills training. I try to help other people communicate better, try to get to know their inner selves, try and figure out what the answers to life's dilemmas are. And I still end up fumbling and bumbling the ball. Because, here's the other thing. Like, I can't, the longer I'm in the space of what I'd call like self development or personal development or whatever, the more I'm trying to learn, it's like you reach those stages where you're like, the more I want to learn, the less I know. And there's such great freedom in that. I know tons of really smart people and tons of really not so smart people who have attitudes like they have to know everything or they have to look smart all the time or they can't say they're sorry or they can't say they don't know. And it's really self-harming. It's almost kind of like I know that there's this thing out there where it's just like, well, don't be subservient, like especially as a woman, don't be kowtowing and saying you're sorry all the time. And I'm like, I don't walk around saying I'm sorry all the time. And when I do fuck up, I should say I'm sorry. Like, I am sorry, not like, oopsie, sorry, oh, ha. There's just a way to take responsibility that has balls. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be overthought. It's about being in touch with what's inside. It's about being in touch with what you know about yourself. I mean, there's things that I know now about myself that I never knew that just help me communicate better. And again, there's with that comfort, with that ease of self, there's a place where I don't like get caught up so much in whether or not it matters. But I also take care because it does matter. It matters what I say, and it matters how it lands, and it matters how I treat people. And I don't want to be someone who's just roaming around being like, I don't care what I say, it doesn't really matter. What do I give a shit what you think? I mean, like, but, even in everything I just said, I should give a little bit of a shit, but not be overly concerned about you. I should think about what I say, but not overanalyze and mind fuck it to death. You know what I mean? It is about the way I am. And I'm probably at this stage, of my life of gray hair and a couple of years on me, I should care. I should know what I care about. I should think about what I say. But also what's happened, which I think there's incredible, incredible freedom, is I don't have to overthink it. I know that if I open my mouth and I say things that I didn't mean or I don't like, I can apologize profusely and honestly and authentically. And I also know that sometimes when I want to say something, there is that part of me that just bites the lip and it happens automatically. I don't have to overthink it. And so, these are just the little nuances of like what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And it is a fine art. Communication can be really difficult. Because again, it's not so much about what's coming out of your mouth, but it's about either the connection or the gap between what you're thinking and then how much it hits you emotionally. Because I know for me, if I'm thinking something or if I have a thought and then all of a sudden I'm disturbed, it's much more difficult for me to control my mouth. And then that unthought of stuff just like peppered by emotions that I haven't resolved, not emotions at all. I have no problem with being emotional and speaking to that emotion. But when that emotion is peppered with like my unresolved shit, my wanting to blame you, my resentments, the communication is probably not going to turn out well. So again, it's about either like the gap that I want to lessen between the head and the heart and my true voice, which to me is something much more spiritual. And also just becoming more and more conscious of what I'm saying, conscious of what I mean, conscious of how I feel. Because like the other day when I felt like shit, there was something in me that said, talk to as few people as possible today, Nicole, because you're probably going to cause harm. And because I was just full of self and I was aggravated and I just wanted to tell somebody to, F off. So I didn't have to do that. But it wasn't necessarily the best day either. So a lot of this is just like keeping the pulse, keeping the pulse on what's happening in here, in this system known as you, regularly rating it, so you are in a state of homeostasis as much as possible, being able and comfortable to have heightened emotions and speak to them, without worrying about people what think, and also knowing when you're in a place where it's probably not good to really like talk a lot. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'm on my way to yoga. Sorry, gotta go. Ciao.